Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Huddle with Three. I'm here with Dustin and Brian once again for another episode. We're coming back with week 2 recap here, starting into week 3. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start off with our Huddy Awards. Dustin, why don't you lead us off? Who are you giving a Huddy to this week?
This week I'm gonna give my Huddy to award to Pakua Nakua. Rams receiver. He's balling out this year. He's doing really well.
Did you say that correctly?
Yeah. Pakua Nakua.
Pakua Nakua?
That's about right.
Close enough.
Pakua Nakua.
Close enough.
He's balling out. He is doing he's their first he's technically their first option now with Cup being out. So he's just having a really, really good season so far. And he's doing really good on fantasy too. I had him in 2 different teams, and both teams he got me over 17 points. So I'm pretty happy with it. What about you, Brian?
Mine's going to go to Anthony Richardson from the Colts. He didn't play the whole game, but he had 2 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. And I think if he would have played the whole game, he probably would have had a passing touchdown or 2, and he would have had a really good game if he would have played the whole thing. So what about you, Trey?
Those guys both played really good. I know Anthony Richardson's kind of been up and down with. I know he didn't. I know he went into concussion protocol.
He's day to day right now.
Yeah, day to day. I know. And then your guy, I don't want to butcher his name. He broke some kind of record, didn't he? He broke like a reception, like most
fastest. Receptions in the first 2 games.
Yeah, I mean Stafford's got his type, and
he's 25. He has 25 receptions.
Is it 25 or 30?
25 or 35.
Either way, it's a lot. Breaking records. I'm going to go ahead and give mine to Jerome Ford, Browns running back. Of course, after Nick Chubb went down with that gruesome injury that they refused to show on the air, because I ended up seeing a clip of it somewhere, and it was pretty intense. So
pretty disgusting.
Yeah, pretty bad. But anyways, he came in. Just looking at his stats, he averaged 6.5 yards a carry, 106 yards on 16 attempts. You know, that's pretty solid, especially when you have a guy like Nick Chubb go out. Star running back, top 3, and then you have this guy come in and just, ball out as well. And he was running hard, dude. He was running hard. I got to watch that game. There was a lot of times where he could have very easily just kind of went out of bounds, but he lowered his shoulder and picked up another yard or 2 just by doing that. So I'm going to give it to him this week.
Well, Nick Chubb is 50% of their offense. Technically, the ball's in his hand 50% of the time.
Yeah.
So if he can
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And they brought in Kareem Hunt today too, for maybe they'll sign him and be a good backup behind Ford and give Ford the keys this season.
They brought him back?
Yeah,
he's in for a visit.
I'm shocked he's not signed anywhere. I'm shocked he's not signed anywhere, especially to the Colts.
Well, he's pretty old, isn't he?
Maybe in his
for
early 30s.
For running backs.
But would you take him over Zach Moss?
I don't know. Zach Moss, I think he showed a little bit of promise when he was playing.
He's injury prone.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, one player that came out of nowhere, in my opinion, was James Cook. He is balling out in Buffalo right now.
He's doing really well.
Is he? I know this is a stupid. Is he Dalvin's brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're brothers.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
Kareem Hunt's 28 years old.
28. Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, most running backs, they have their best years. I mean, I'm sure Hunt can still be serviceable, but most of the time their best years are from the time they get drafted, so around 21, 22 till they're about 26, and then they start going downhill. I mean, we saw it with Zeke. I think
Gurley.
Gurley. I think we might be starting to see it with Henry potentially. I mean, I know he's built like a truck. I think he's not the Henry of old, but granted, they're running backs are taking so many hits, and it's the whole crisis they have right now with their pay. They're not going to get paid what they probably deserve just because they're, you don't want to go out and you don't want to go spend $30 million on a running back, when they have 3-4 years of excellent
good usage. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, during those 3 or 4 years, they're riddled with injuries like McCaffrey. Henry started it a few years ago, started getting hurt. Todd Gurley when he Saquon. Yeah. I mean, now, hopefully not Nick Chubb, but
yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a tough thing to come back from. Najee Harris, he's not even hurt, and he looks like he's running in slow motion.
And the Jets are not using Dalvin Cook what they're supposed to either. And Dalvin Cook was a dominant running back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a bad signing for the Jets, but they're not utilizing him at all.
No,
Breece Hall has been the main back so far, and it's kind of weird seeing that you brought a top 5 running back in, and you're not even using him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a little bit weird for him. Sorry, that the light's messing me up bad.
Very good.
But
But I'm
Well,
a go ahead, Brian.
well, I'll just going back to Dalvin Cook. No one really had a good game. The quarterback had the most carries that game with 5. So if that tells you anything,
Dang. Yeah, no run game at all. No, the what's been impressive to me is the Dallas Cowboys.
oh my gosh, dude.
Who is this team?
The only thing that's going to stop Dallas is Dallas,
Mhm.
honestly, or injuries, I guess. But I don't remember where I saw it. I can't remember who said it, but it was the guy was like, Dallas is on the brink of a Super Bowl, and I hate to
Mhm.
say that because I can't stand Dallas. I really can't. But
It's
I
like some of the best teams we've ever seen them play. Some of the best ball we've seen them play since like
oh yeah,
early Tony Romo.
oh yeah. Like I mean, like I told you guys. Sorry, Go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say Micah Parsons is the best defensive player I've seen since I've been growing up. Like I watched Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, some studs, but he is fast. He is one of the fastest defensive players I've ever seen for his size. He is quick and he's
A
good.
menace. It's a menace, dude. I mean, like I told you guys, week one, they've got a Super Bowl defense. It's a matter of if their offense can keep up. And I think CD Lamb is coming into his own. I mean, a buddy of mine will argue till he's blue in the face that CD is just as good as Justin Jefferson. I'm never gonna give him that ever.
No.
But I don't think CD is as far behind as what a lot of people think. I don't think he can't take over a game like Jefferson does, or put up the ridiculous numbers Jefferson does.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty good.
He's a good receiver.
The
Yeah.
problem the problem the Cowboys are gonna have is injuries because Brandon Cooks didn't play this week. And it's like if you can't stay healthy, you can't get to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So they've got to stay healthy to be able to get to the next level.
Yeah.
Dak's playing super well too. He's playing
Yes.
best. I think he's trying to prove himself to stay a starting quarterback over Trey Lance.
That Trey Lance trade pissed him off.
And it should have.
He's like, no, I am the quarterback. Let me be it.
And they're not missing Zeke
Let
at
me
all
try
either.
the butts. No,
I mean, with
they're
Tony
really
Pollard,
not.
he's playing really well. I don't think they're running as much as they should be. Running. They are throwing quite a bit.
They are. I mean, but I know it's not a really good discussion if we just pull up stats because stats don't tell the whole story. I mean, I'll touch on it later, but Atlanta, Ritter, I know, Dustin, you were pretty mad Sunday with Ritter. I mean, me and Brian were too. He was missing some very, very, very easy throws. But I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at the box score, if you just go off stats alone, he didn't play
He
bad.
didn't have a bad game at all.
He didn't. Now, if you watch the game, he was missing some pretty easy throws and making some pretty questionable reads. But anyways, going off just stats alone, Dak, he had an 81% completion rating against the Jets.
What is QBR?
QBR is 86.8, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm sorry. That's way off. I don't know why it's saying that. Rating on here, it's showing that he was 112.2.
That's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, and of course, mid 200s, 31 for 38, 255, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. His average was a little low. He was 6.7 yards per or on average.
That completion percentage is nice though.
Yeah, I mean, they switched over to that kind of West Coast style offense, and I think that might benefit him because he's not bombing it downfield or trying to make something happen we didn't have to.
And he's getting a lot of people involved too. A lot of his tight ends and all of his receivers and running back. He get everybody involved.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He reminds me of like Tom Brady, like getting everybody involved when he had that super team.
Yeah,
literally everyone touched the ball. Rex Burkhead, Amendola, all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, people seem to forget that these are NFL players. They're all, yes, there's some that are better than others, but I mean, they were all studs. At one point, they were all studs. So,
he threw to almost nine different players in that game.
Dak?
Yeah. Almost. Yeah. He's 8 or 9. That's crazy.
Yeah. He definitely played pretty well against that team.
Dallas. Will Dallas be the Super Bowl?
If they keep playing like this, I don't see why not. I mean, I think they're going to have to play a little bit tougher competition because, I mean, so far they've only played the 2 New York teams, and the Giants, other than their historical comeback this week, I don't know if you guys got to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Or Good for them. But
over a shitty team in the Cardinals. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely watch that one.
Yeah. History, man. History in the making.
Yeah.
Or history was made. But they've only played those two New York teams. Both of those teams I'm not very impressed with. I'm really not. I mean, the Jets, if Rodgers would have stayed healthy, I think would be a little bit more
Competitive.
yeah, but I don't think Zach Wilson is the guy, and I really don't. I don't think they're going to come of anything. Who did they play this week?
Go ahead, Brian. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, I would love to see 49ers versus Cowboys in the NFC Championship. Those two defenses going back and forth. That'd be a fun game to watch. I would love to see it in San Francisco, but I think the crowd's better there than it is in Dallas. But
You think so?
I think so.
Where's Super Bowl at Vegas? Where's it at this year?
It's in Vegas. It's in Vegas. Yep.
Yeah. I think Dallas, 49ers, Eagles, Chiefs. What else was I gonna say? There's a couple of teams that are like in the discussion right now. There's not many teams that are 2-0 that will stay the good teams. Definitely not the Falcons.
Hey.
Well, they play the Jaguars this week, and I don't think we're gonna win.
They play the Lions this week.
I don't think the
Lions,
Jaguars
sorry.
are that good.
Sorry,
I
Lions.
really don't.
I do think we're gonna lose against the Lions because I think Jared Goff's gonna go out there and ball out and throw a lot of touchdowns. As bad as we got burnt last week on our receivers, it's gonna happen again this week. And we all three watched the Atlanta game, right? All three of us watched it fully. Okay. I was upset with Ritter, but all three were. But our defense sucks so bad.
I don't think they're as bad as you're thinking. Because I mean, this whole second half, me and Brown talked about it, they were pretty good on the second half.
Yeah, they were.
They
Second
were pretty
half.
good.
I'll give them second half.
Second
What
half.
happened in the first half?
They sucked.
Yeah,
They came out and they got punched in the mouth.
but
I mean,
when they play a good team like that, they're gonna get dominated. We can't come back from 30-point deficit. We can't.
no. But I think there was a lot of pressure on the defense because the offense sucked outside of Bijan, and London ended up having a good game, but Ritter was. The first half was especially when I was like, "What in the world are we doing?" Because Ritter was missing very easy throws,
Mhm.
and I mean, I
wide open people and wide open targets.
Exactly. Me and Brian both counted Pitts open multiple times, and Ritter just didn't throw it to him, or he just missed him.
Why don't you think Why don't you think he's throwing to Ritter? Throwing to Pitts.
I think the TV angle. I think it's not showing how much attention Pitts is drawing. I think he's not being double teamed
No.
every play.
But
He's
occasionally
not.
he is.
He's occasionally getting double teamed, and he brings if you even see him just when they run him on a vert, he pulls the safety every single time. Whoever's on him is locked man to man. He's double teamed downfield. Anytime he goes out of or past 5 yards, he's double teamed. And even within 5 yards, they've got a blanket just set around him. I think that's a big reason why London was able to play so well. But that's got to be on Smith. He has got to scheme him open because
And I know you love Smith. He's your favorite coach we ever had, right?
yeah, favorite. All right, he's my favorite. I'm pretty sure I've called for him to get fired multiple times.
Yeah. His whole like watching his mouth, watching him they even have to mute himself because he's cussing and stuff like that. But he doesn't look like. I wouldn't say he cares. It's just he's not the guy from Tennessee. And I don't know what it is. We have good running backs. We have decent receivers. We have an okay quarterback. And we have a good offensive line.
Mhm.
We have but defensively, that's our weakest point. But we have tools. Patterson hasn't played yet. Patterson hasn't played all season so far.
He's been hurt. That's
And I know that, but I'm saying, but when we add him, who's going to get the ball now? Who's going to get it?
Well, here's what I think needs to happen. I know it's early. I know it's only week 2, and I'm just going to say it's a hot take. We need a coach like what Deion Sanders is creating in Colorado for Atlanta. That excitement, that fun, that where people want to come play. Dude, Atlanta has one of the prettiest stadiums. Their venue, or the city's nice, but imagine just coming out in all black and just with swagger. I know they're adults, but coming out there with swagger and just showing who you are and talking that talk. We don't have those players.
And
we
teams
have
like playing in alternatives. They like to play in alternative uniforms. They like to play in the different ones. They love it.
Oh yeah.
But I
we
like
just
the
need
scheme we
someone-
had. I like the scheme we had last week. I do like it.
Yeah. The red helmets were good. That were looking
Yeah.
good this week.
If Arthur gets canned, who should we go after?
I have two options.
I have one.
I don't know coaches well enough to.
Mine's the defensive guy,
Who's yours?
Defensive.
Brian Flores.
If we go after a defensive guy, we need to make sure we have a very solid offensive coordinator, in my opinion. Because I think their defense right now is gonna take more than just a coach. Because they have the pieces, no doubt. I don't know. I mean, first game of the season, our defense played pretty good.
Mhm.
And Bates forced 3 turnovers by himself. Now,
Some
granted,
of them positioning.
Yeah, granted, it was a little bit of positioning, and some of it was just a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. But still, I mean, 3 forced turnovers, that's nothing to scoff at. And that's what we knew we were going to get when we signed Bates. It's kind of a shock that we got him.
Yeah, it's very shocking.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with the defensive idea, though. So
No, my 3 options. I have 3. The first one is Ben Johnson from the Lions, the OC. I think he'd be a great asset to Atlanta. My second option would be Cliff Kingsbury. I think Chain of Scenery would be good. And I think, yeah,
he has swagger. He has young swagger.
Yeah.
Brian loves.
Yes. And he's up there at USC right now with Caleb Williams. So I'm just going to put that out there. Fritter's terrible. I would throw in the kitchen sink for Caleb Williams or Drake May or anything of that nature. I think Cliff will have a job in the NFL next season.
I don't know if we need to throw the kitchen sink, though, because I remember you mentioned there's a lot of first-round talent quarterbacks.
There's 14 right now that are projected to go to the top 3 rounds this year. 14, yeah. And that's not there. And there's going to be more, in my opinion. There's this college football is this year's been electric so far. I know this is an NFL podcast, but there's so many quarterbacks that are going to be looked at the NFL draft. But going back to Atlanta, the third option is Eric Bieniemy. I think
we can't get him away from Kansas City, man. We can't get him. He's stuck there.
No, he's in Washington now.
Oh, Washington! Holy cow! Oh, Rivera. He's the offensive assistant coach.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about it.
But Bieniemy, he would be my third option. It'd probably go Ben Johnson, Kingsbury, then Bieniemy. But Bieniemy, he's making Washington look good, offense look good. So with Sam Howell behind quarterback, so Sam Howell's looking better than Ridder, and I thought Sam Howell was better than Ridder coming out of college, personally for me. But he's making that offense look good. So those 3 options would be mine, and I wouldn't mind the Brian Flores. But we need someone that's a really good, if it's a D coordinator or defensive player, coach type player, then we need someone really, really strong that has a scheme or a plan to get the defense at least being a top 15 defense.
Mm-hmm. Last question about the Falcons I want to ask you guys. At the moment, this is kind of a two-parter. I want you guys both to answer it. I'll give you my answer first. At the moment, should we draft, when we draft this year coming up, defense or offense first? Question 2, is Ridder the answer? Ridder, to me, I think we haven't seen much of him still. Like Trey said, we've seen a lot of him make small decisions, like not good decision making. But this is like his 9th, 10th game, right? He hasn't played that many, right?
He's still a rookie.
Yeah, he's still 10. He's still. But do you guys think after next game, if he doesn't play up to par, should we put in
Heineke?
I don't know if we should bench Ridder. I think we should put it out there that it's potential, because I mean the worst thing you're going to do to a young quarterback is ruin their confidence by benching him. And I know that's kind of a double-edged sword because it can work for him. And Jordan Love, when he started, again last year. I think it was last year. He started a few games last year, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. I feel like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean he didn't play very good.
This was his 5th game, I think. 5th game.
Yeah, he didn't play very good. But look at him this year. He's right now statistically he's probably top 5 right now. Now it's 2 games into the season, and they've played Atlanta and then the Bears first game. So take that how you will, but I don't know if I'd bench him. I think he could be the guy potentially, but if he is the guy, he's not going to be a star. I think personally his ceiling would be Jimmy G personally. I think he's a guy he can maybe not make many mistakes and just be your everyday starting quarterback. Not a stud or anything like that. But for the draft question, I would go defense personally
Same.
because
Yeah.
we've built up. We have a good, solid young core in Pitts, London, and now Bijan and Algier. Can't forget about him. So our offense is fine. We have
Every time he has the ball, man, he's running pissed off, and I love it.
Oh my lord, his moves.
He's hitting
his
people.
moves have moves. Honestly.
I don't like how often we're rotating him. I do think we're taking away from both of them. When Bijan has like a 10, just like he gets a 10-yard carry, they're switching him out. I mean, they shouldn't be tired, but if he's rolling, let him roll. If Tyler Algier goes all series, let him go all series. That's the one thing I did see. We switched them in a lot, and we're only using both those backs. So when Patterson comes back, are we going to use? He's going to take away from Bijan and his carries, or what we're going to do?
He'll play the role. Bijan's been kind of playing the Patterson role because they've been putting him in the slot. He's been going in motion on the field at the same time as Algier, which I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, depending on what draft we are, what slot we're at, I would probably go if Drake May or Marvin Harrison Jr. is there, then we're selecting one of those two on offense. But if it's not there, then get the best available. I don't care if it's defense or offense. And then back to the Ritter question, if we are under 500 by week 7 or 8, I could see them making a move.
Potentially. Yeah, I could see that. Dustin, real quick, this might surprise you. And like I said, stats don't tell the whole story. But speaking on the Atlanta defense, we have allowed on average the third least amount of yardage per game. We're third. It goes Dallas at 193, the Browns at 198.5, and then Atlanta at 252.5. That's a big jump. But
holy cow! The Browns are playing that well.
Their defense is doing very well. Their defense is.
I know that.
Well, I mean, they held the Bengals to what, 3 points?
Yeah, 3 points.
Yeah,
but it's also sweat and sloppy. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I think the game will be different than when they play at the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, just looking at that, and I mean, we're allowing the rushing yardage is a little. We're allowing 119 rushing yards a game based on this, and we're allowing 17 points per game. If we hold a team to 17 points, that you can win a lot of games doing that.
100%.
And real quick, going to the whole Patterson situation, I want to see Patterson, Bijan, and Algier on the field at the same time because we can make it work. And I want to see a bunch of motion. I want to see them coming across the field. I want to see Bijan going. I want to see Algier going. I want them to be making people confused because I want them to say, who's getting the ball? Is it Patterson? Is it Algier? Is it Bijan? Because they all can catch the ball out of the backfield. They all can catch screens. They all can do it. So it's
if we play all three, then we still can play Pitts and London, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
It'd be empty set technically, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can motion one back in the backfield if you need it.
So I mean, that group doesn't sound bad.
No,
it doesn't sound bad at all.
And Bijan was running beautifully this week.
Yeah, he was playing. He was running.
He looked good, even though I wasn't a huge fan of drafting him. But he's fast.
I'm glad we drafted him. I am.
I'm still glad we're going to draft him, but I think we should have went with somebody else as like the best available player. Yes, at offensively was, but I think we could have used a Jalen Carter. We could use a.
We need
Nolan
pressure.
Smith.
We need pressure. And but Trey, you've been saying though too is like me and Trey were talking on Sunday. We don't have a scheme. The D coordinator, we can be at 3-4. We can be a 4-3.
Yeah, he literally said we don't have a scheme.
We can be a 3-3-5. It's like. I want to be a 3-4 defense. I want to put Lorenzo Carter on his hands, I want to put his hands in the ground. I want Bud Dupree put his hands in the ground. Have Grady Jarrett and that guy we got from the Saints, whatever, Mata, put them boys and get them going. Like get them going.
You can't forget Campbell.
Calais.
But still, you can put Calais as a D tackle, and then you had Bud Dupree and Lonzo Carter rushing.
I think he does play D tackle. I think he is D tackle.
But I don't think that's true, bro. I don't think we're using our people that we have in the necessary scheme to make it work. Because Bud Dupree is he can pressure. What was the other guy? Lonzo Carter can pressure.
Yes.
Like we have people who can do that. And our linebackers.
Caden Ellis, I've never seen him play before, but he's
all over the place.
He's all over the place, and he's a middle linebacker.
He's all over the place.
He's good. And
Yeah, he played real.
Tay Davis,
If we're
Troy Anderson's good. I mean, we've
Ryan,
got
you
it.
say you want us in a 4-3 or a 3-4?
I want a 4-3.
Okay.
I want a 4-3.
I was thinking 3-4 because I'd put Great Jarrett in the middle. I'd put Carter on one side and then Dupree on the other. And our two middle linebackers would be the guy from the Saints and Troy Anderson because they're both pretty quick. They're both pretty quick, and they're stud middle linebackers. And our biggest issue is stopping the pass for the most part because our secondary is fairly weak. I know we have Terrell and we have Bates, but outside of that, it's
Trey Flowers. He played decent, but they play so far off every play.
oh yeah,
They're playing
Yeah.
25 yards, but play 25
Yeah, that
yards.
makes sense. And bench Flowers for a little bit and put Mike Hughes in there, and it's like we're
where's he
good.
been? Where's
Right.
he been?
And
Right.
they offered the offer guy we have too. They played
The
him
offer,
randomly, randomly. It was just so random.
But here's what I think they should do real quick is they need to bring Keanu Neal like the Dallas does for Keanu Neal. Bring him down in the box. Bring Pitts down the box. Bring Hawkins down the box or Richie Grant in the box and kind of create that space because they both can all cover. So if they want to go cover, they just get out of the box and go cover.
Yeah.
That's just what I think they should
we
do.
don't play. I don't know how much man we play.
Not much.
I think we are in zone. We are in this deep shell zone. And remember, that's what in previous years that's what's gotten us killed because we play this super deep cloud coverage zone, which is fine. You keep people in front of you.
Yeah.
But when you're letting Jordan Love get 8 yards a pass, 15 yards, then all of a sudden he hits you with 4 more 6, 7, 5-yard passes. That's they're getting momentum. And then they can run play action off that, and then they hit you over the top. Now we've been good at keeping teams from going over the top on us, but I mean, it's all been underneath stuff that is destroying us.
This is the last thing I want to say about the Falcons before we can move on to other things. I don't want to talk about the Falcons the whole time. But do you think we're a playoff team? Yes or no? Easy, fast.
No.
I think we can, because I think we can win the division.
I think we can win the division. I think we're going to make it to the playoffs. We'll win. If we win a division, great. If we don't, then I think we'll be the last wild card spot. But we have a long, long road ahead of us. Like Campbell said, he said it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And we have a marathon we have to run. And I think we have some pieces to do it, but I don't think everything's clicking. Certain people are, certain spots are, but not everybody. What about you, Brian? No?
I agree 1,000%. I don't think we have a identity on defense at all, and that's a big problem. You cannot have an identity on defense. The best defense, like the Cowboys and the 49ers, they're going to attack you. They're going to come after you. If the Falcons like, oh, they're here, they're on the field. We need people that are going to go off the quarterback and just play with tempo on defense.
For sure. One more thing with that, I think this week against the Lions, I think that's going to be a big test for us. I think that's really
for
good.
sure.
I do.
So, we're probably going to do it regardless, but see if it picks up steam or not. So going into this next section, we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk on. Are we going to do which team's going to have the biggest challenge next week, or do you guys want to touch on something else first? I know, Dustin. I know you mentioned you want to talk about the Bengals a little bit. If we should be worried about them or not. So that's just up to you guys.
Yeah, we
So
can make
you
it
got a
kind of
preference?
one where teams where we're worried about, not the worst team so far and kind of the team for the next challenge. Kind of goes hand in hand. Bengals, of course, is something that we should definitely talk about. Someone I would definitely talk about. Joe Burrow isn't playing well. He doesn't look fat. He doesn't look healthy out there. And they're not getting the ball to Jamar Chase very much. Their offense isn't clicking. Defensively, they're letting a lot of big plays happen like Atlanta is doing. The other team, but the team I really, really, really want to talk about is the Giants.
Ugh.
Giants
Yeah.
barely beat the Cardinals. Barely beat the Cardinals. Yes, great comeback. Great job. But it's the freaking Cardinals. They're tanking for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And they barely beat them. And they're coming into an NFC favorite to maybe go to the Super Bowl. They're not playing at all. Saquon Saquon isn't running well. He's doubtful for this week.
I think he's out for 3 weeks.
On fantasy, it shows him 0, but it shows him D as in doubtful.
I think.
But it's just that what's they're not clicking, and it's nothing. Nothing's changed. They have the same coordinators, they have the same coaches. Like nothing's really changing. They added Darren Waller, and they're not even using him.
Mhm.
Their defense,
Bring him to Atlanta. We'd love him.
dude. Um, but their defense is just they look gassed. They're always out there. It just doesn't make sense to me why they're playing piss poor.
I'll tell you
When-
why. It's because Daniel Jones is not good. I think he got way overpaid. He's not good. He's bad.
He's not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but he's not worth the money they paid him.
He's a good backup.
He's
I
a
don't
good
think he's a
starting quarterback. He's a starter. He's a starter.
He has way too many turnovers, dude. Way too many.
He runs too damn much. That's why he turns because he fumbles it.
Fumbles and picks, yeah.
What about
You
you,
know, I
Ryan?
agree. The Giants are just not a good team. But maybe they'll catch a stride here in the next couple of weeks. But they need Saquon to help catch those strides because if they don't have him, they're just going to be an average team fighting for bottom tier of the NFC East. The team I'm most worried about is the Denver Broncos. Dustin, they were your team to watch at the beginning of the season, but Russell Wilson. I mean, the Hail Mary was cute and all, it was great, but that team is not good. Russell Wilson, I can see him getting benched. I don't think he's got it. I think he's getting older. I think he's just not in shape either. And they have to look for an alternative because they have a good offense and their defense is great too. I think Jared Stidham could potentially lead that offense to at least a playoff run if Russell can't do it. Personally, for
Russell
me.
does look chubby.
Mhm.
I don't know if their loss was on Russell though, because I mean he played pretty good. And his touchdown interception ratio is 5-1 right now. This last game, I know they played the Commanders and lost by 2, but I mean he threw for over 300 yards, 107 rating, 3-1 interception ratio. I mean touchdown to interception ratio. So I think he's shown flashes and stuff, but I mean their defense has just not been good, and that's weird because I mean
That's what they're known for.
yeah, I mean they've got a pretty good secondary. Oh shoot, who did they
Well,
pick up?
well,
They-
their offensive line, the offensive line for Denver let 7 sacks come through. So
yeah,
7 sacks, that's a lot. Like that's a
Mhm.
lot. Like 3 to 4 is not bad, but
That's not even talking about pressures either. How much pressure
Yeah.
he was under either.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it's just he. I think Russell Wilson can be that guy. Just clear your head, man. Let's go to work. You always talk about going to work and being the best you can be. Show it, prove it. You used to be a stud in Seattle. Everybody wanted you on the team.
how
but-
much of that was Pete Carroll though?
I don't think none. I think it was the offense coordinator.
I don't think Pete Carroll's a great coach anyway. I don't think he's a great coach.
Mm-mm.
And that's a discussion we can have next week if you want coaching. Because I think most of the coaches in the NFL are just in their positions because of their name. Like Pete Carroll, I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think he's in a good situation.
Mhm.
Just like Bill Belichick. I'm not saying Belichick's not a bad coach, but for God's sake, you had Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
mean-
Randy Moss, Danny Amendola, Julian
Gronk.
Edelman, Gronk.
I mean, he's always had good players around him. Is he a good coach?
Good question. That's a good topic. It's good.
And it kind of reverts back to Nick Saban in college right now. He's struggling. This is the first time he hasn't had a star quarterback that's been playing well. There's something there. You know what I mean? But Trey, what about you? Who is a team that your team sucks or what they need to work on?
I know I kind of mentioned the Browns earlier, and I was talking about how with Chubb going out, they're going to be in some danger because Watson's not playing the greatest either. But they have Jerome Ford stepping in is going to help them a lot. I'm a little worried about the Steelers personally, because I mean, you guys saw it. T.J. Watt, he broke the franchise record for sacks, which Brian, I know you mentioned that he could break the sack record this year.
Mhm.
I
He's on
mean,
track.
He's well on his way.
He's on
and
track for
he's-
34.
Yeah,
That's a
he's
lot.
a stud. He's a stud. But I mean, they have a great defense. They have a great defense, but their offense is just it's pitiful. I
Mhm.
mean, I know we were all raving about the Pickett to Pickens connection, but Pickett doesn't look good.
Mm-mm.
He
Pickens
doesn't
looks
look
good. Pickens looks really good.
Pickens looks great.
I blame that
Pickett
OC. Y'all heard those fans last night. They were saying fire Canada, or whatever his name is. They
Mhm.
want him gone. They need an offense coordinator in that offense because I think that offense would look so much better with Pickens Dante Johnson when he's healthy, Allen
Mhm.
Robertson, and Firemouth, not including Najee. That offense could look good if they have someone that can run an offense or call plays.
I could see Najee losing his starting spot. I mean,
Yeah.
he briefly got benched for a
Mhm.
little bit there because I mean, Warren is a younger, more explosive version of him,
He
in
wants
my
to play.
opinion.
Warren wants to play. Najee
Yeah,
got a little bit of a payday, you know, and he just like, I'll fuck it. I'll just run. I'll just,
yeah.
just pedal paddle around.
I mean,
Warren looks good. Warren looks really, really
he's
good.
explosive, man. He
Yeah.
looks explosive. Najee looks like he's running in like cement boots.
Mhm.
That video or that play of him reversing the field, he got like 17 yards out of it or something like that. But he looks so slow. When I was
Mhm.
watching that, I was like, he looks like a tight end
Mhm.
right now. How he's running, he looks like a tight end. He's just, I don't know, man. I could see Najee losing his starting spot.
Well, going back to the Pittsburgh coaching staff, I'm looking at their assistant coaches. I'm not familiar with any of these guys, so I don't know what they would do. The oldest guy they have is Mike Sullivan. He's the quarterbacks coach. He's been in the league for 18 years. Maybe he can call plays, but um, I don't know. They just got to make a change at that position. I don't know why they didn't. There's so many options out there,
I
Mhm.
but
will
go ahead, Desmond.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying that they've got to make a change or they're going to start seeing Pickens is going to want to go. He'll tell you straight up, I don't want to be here, and he'll leave, and that's
I
just
mean,
not
he
what
he
they need.
said that week one. You could see his face. He goes, "I like here, but this ain't it."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
he's got that kind
Pickett,
of energy about him.
he is a good quarterback. I
he
think
can.
he's in the wrong scheme, just like Atlanta. We're not running always the right scheme when we need to. He has good players around him, and I mean he has a really good running back in Najee. If Najee's gonna do work, but Pickens is a good receiver. They have Poole and all those guys. He has a good players around him. They're just not using the players in the right thing. Like when George Pickens was at Georgia, what was the favorite thing we threw to him, Brian?
The go route.
Yeah, that and the stick, the corn
Oh,
left.
the fade.
Yeah, we threw to him all the time, and he was injured his last season. He still got drafted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they're not using them what they're good at, which sucks. Um, and there's no. Oh, of course, we said Arizona's tanking for Caleb Williams. But I don't think Caleb Williams is their fix either. If they continue to do what they're doing, I don't think Caleb Williams is going to fix their problems.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and then just real quick, and then we can move on to the next topic. Another team that I want to throw out for honorable mention is the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Right now, Fields' QBR is 22.2.
Yeah, the
That's
more I see
awful.
Fields play right now, the more I'm like, why in the world did I pick him to do anything?
Well, yeah, why'd you hot take him?
I
I
thought
think
he
you
had it,
jinxed him. I
man,
think you
but
jinxed him.
He
maybe.
he he's not even doing good at rushing either. He only has 62 yards rushing this year. He's been sacked 10 times. He's just not looking good. His rating right now is 70.7, which is low. But they've got to do something there too.
It's so weird because Ohio State he was a stud.
Yeah.
He was a stud there. And
Well,
I know
The right
college.
scheme.
when you
Yeah.
have 5-star recruits right in front of you blocking for you,
Mhm.
you're gonna be able to get people open. You know.
Yeah,
And
I-
playing a weak conference.
yeah. I don't know. I guess I just wishful thinking.
I think with Fields, I think he is holding it for a second and just then trying to run.
He's not thinking. He's not
No,
thinking.
He just
He's not.
go through your
He-
progressions.
Mhm. Trey, would you take him in Atlanta if he was available next season?
Fields,
Yeah.
I think with our scheme, I think he could be good. I think he could be because our scheme is a lot. We run first team, obviously. I mean, we found success with Mariota, and Mariota could not throw the football whatsoever. Fields at least has an arm.
Mhm.
He's got a cannon. Now, getting him to use it correctly, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But I've lobbied for him whenever for that draft. I mean, of course we got our blessing that we got, but
Mhm. Bless him.
yeah, blessing that's not being used because Arthur Smith absolutely
Correct.
hates
But
it. But
that is
anyways,
true. Well, is there anybody else you guys want to talk about on the subject at all?
um, I guess I'm kind of surprised by the team. I'm kind of surprised how the Rams are doing so far. They're
Mhm.
not doing bad. They're not
Yeah.
doing bad.
That was a good game.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
was.
It was a long game.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Steelers Browns still. That was a long game.
Every game
Heck.
seems every game Sunday seemed like it was long. Like our game Falcons game seemed like it took forever.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think with the situation that a lot of the teams are in, some of the teams that are good are 0-2 and one's 1-1, and some teams that should be 2-0 are 0-2-0. So it's just early in the season. We have a long. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon. We'll see. I would like to come back to this in like 4 weeks and see the difference for sure.
No, I'm worried about the Eagles. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention them.
Yeah, they played a little slow. They played slow.
They beat the Patriots by 5. They beat the Vikings by uh, math is difficult. 6, I think. I mean, those are teams that they should have
Destroyed.
probably hit. Yes. And looking at the standings right here, because everyone said Philly's going to run away with this division. We forgot about Dallas. Dallas has scored 70 points and given up 10. Philly's scored 59 and given up 48.
Wow.
That's that's an insane difference. Now, granted, it's the teams they've been playing, but
Yeah.
I know the Vikings are pretty good offensively, but not the Patriots.
Well,
Right.
going back to the Rams real quick, talking about like how they're surprisingly good. Number one thing I can see why they're playing good is Matthew Stafford's not. He's only been sacked once this year so far. So
You
he's
keep him
finally
upright,
getting.
yeah.
If
And
you
he
keep him
looks
upright,
young too.
he can
looks
toss
young
the
throwing.
ball. Unfortunately, he's already thrown I think 2 picks already, but that's still not bad within 2 weeks.
One of those picks wasn't his fault. It was um
Bobby Higbee's. That dude has better fingers right now for them.
no, yeah, he does. But it was some read play where he had to get the ball out. It was just a play and it didn't
But
develop correctly.
they're playing good now, but then Cooper Cup's going to come back, and then they're going to get rid of Cam Akers. It sounds like so. If
Yeah,
they
I
get
saw
rid of
that
him,
today. Yeah.
that's going to give their rookie, whoever the Williams back there, going to give him an
He
opportunity
looked
to
good
play.
too.
And I think that offense is going to start beating that
Good.
drum right.
You think Tua is going to stay atop the yardage leadership right now?
Yeah,
He looks really good. I think he's proven he coming into the season, man. He got all that grief about having the concussions and not being, being small and stuff and not caring. He bulked up in the offseason. He has swagger now.
he got a tattoo now. He's got a tattoo now. He's cool.
He has swagger now. His players expect him, and he's throwing the ball really well. Like a lot of his balls are not like wobbly. They're all like they're tight spirals.
I think he's out. I think he's out to prove people wrong. I think he's wanting to prove everyone wrong. Say, hey, I'm here. I'm here. Like get off me. I'm here.
I think Dak will stay top 5 if Dak keeps playing the way they're playing too.
Dak right now is 22nd.
What?
With
Wow.
390.
Who's top 5? Just name off really quick.
Top 5, you got Tua, Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford, C.J. Stroud, and Jared Goff.
Hey, I love me some golf, dude. Golf is the man.
Yeah.
Herbert or not Herbert? Yeah, Herbert's 7, Mahomes is 9, Allen's 10.
Wow. Some of the big names are down there.
Yeah. So
Was our
Stroud's
favorite-
up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
what?
He had a really good season last. He had a really good game last week, dude. A really good game.
Good job for Stroud.
Mac Jones has the most attempts right now, 96 attempts.
He's throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next closest Stafford, of course. C.J. Stroud's thrown it 91 times.
They ain't running. They have Damian Pierce, and he's good. They're not running the ball.
No, they're
Where's
not.
that Ritter at?
Probably 20, or actually, I'd say 47th somewhere.
Yeah, he's
He is 28th. He's behind
at a
Joshua
32.
Out of 39. Christian
39,
Kirk's
okay.
on here at 39.
And they also have Devin Singletary.
Oh,
Devin Singletary down there.
the Colts quarterbacks are at 32 and 33. Then Bryce Young, Joe Burrow is 30th, guys.
Wow.
Then it goes
This is
Burrow's
definitely early season.
yeah, but I mean Ritter is behind Joshua Dobbs. He's behind Hurts, obviously. Garoppolo, Watson,
picked him.
Jordan Love, yeah, Brock
That's
Purdy,
crazy.
Ryan Tannehill. Forgot about him.
That's
But
crazy.
it's not looking good. Love and Kirk Cousins are tied for most touchdowns thrown, and then Russell Wilson's third, guys, 5-1. He's been sacked
Wow.
9 times though.
Wow.
Dang.
CJ Stroud's been sacked 11th.
Is our favorite part next, Brian? Our favorite part?
The picks.
It's picks.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's
God.
coming up.
Oh, goodness.
We didn't do good last week. to be honest with you guys. We'll have that updated at the end of the video. But this week is a new week.
Yeah.
So let's start
New
off
beginning, new
strong. I
beginning.
think the first game I'm going to pick is going to be an easy one, but we never know. But we'll start out with the Giants at 49ers.
Let's go 49ers.
Let's go 49ers. Yeah.
49ers. And then we have our Falcons at the Lions.
I'm gonna go with the Lions.
He's going to go Falcons.
He's gonna go Falcons. You know him. He's never picked against them. He's gonna pick them every week.
Yeah, I gotta go Falcons.
Yeah,
They're not
I
going
am.
16-0.
I can't go
Um,
against them.
So just real quick, I'll touch on it.
Hey, hold on, real quick,
Mhm.
quick, and then I'll shut up.
Mhm.
If they win, you guys gotta buy me a dinner.
You did, bro?
You know what? Fine. If they beat the Lions, I will take you to dinner. But
You guys all heard that, right?
If the Lions win, he takes us to dinner.
Whoa,
Yeah,
okay,
that's-
okay.
yeah.
That doesn't have as much pull to it.
Hey, it doesn't matter where we're going. It could be somewhere cheap.
Okay, that's fair. McDonald's it is.
But real quick, I
Wendy's.
just the biggest thing for us is, are we going to stop St. Brown and that
Reynolds.
other receivers, Reynolds, and then Montgomery's hurt, so Jameer Gibbs is going to play a lot of the game. And seeing Gibbs versus Bijan,
I'm
That's
taking
gonna be-
Bijan.
that's
I'm
gonna be
taking
a game.
Bijan.
So I'm going to go Lions because they're at home. If it was vice versa, I'd probably go Falcons, but I'm going to go Lions on that one. Chargers at Vikings.
Give me Vikings. I'm gonna go with them that game.
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go.
Vikings.
I'm gonna go with Chargers for a redemption game for them to finally win a game this year.
Okay. Saints Packers.
Packers.
Packers. I'm
think it's a
feeling
little
Packers
easy.
love. Actually, I'm gonna go with the Saints. They played good last week.
Okay.
Or this week.
And then you got Texans at Jaguars.
That's gonna be a good game. I think it'll be a good, gritty game.
Sounds like our matchup of the day.
Yeah.
Of the week.
The Jaguars didn't play really well against Kansas City. The game was also Kansas City in that Jaguar game was really, really stale. So I'm gonna go with the Jaguars, but I think it'll be close. I think it'll be they'll win less by less than 7.
We go Jaguars.
So I'm gonna go Jaguars as well. Broncos at Dolphins.
Let's go
Oh.
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
2 will throw for over 400 yards.
Titans at Browns.
At Browns.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go.
I'm
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
I'm gonna go Titans.
Go with the Browns.
I'm gonna go Brown. I'm gonna go with Browns.
I think Watson's gonna break out of it. This
And that
game.
running back's gonna do well, I think, too.
Ford.
And this one is my upset of the week watch. Okay, it's a crazy one. But Bills at Commanders.
If you are about to say the Commanders are gonna beat the Bills, I'm gonna drive to your house and smack you.
You know what? I'm gonna say the Commanders beat the Bills. I really am.
I'm gonna go
They're
with the
not-
Bills, but
they're
I
not.
do-
They're not beating the Bills.
I'm gonna go with the Bills, but I'm not saying it's gonna be the upset of the week, but it will be a really good game.
I
Trey,
appreciate.
same bet for the Lions Falcons. If the Commanders beat the Bills, you take me to dinner.
Well, I'm not buying you guys 2 dinners.
No,
so you gotta
That's
pick-
separate. That's separate. Don't get me in there. Don't get me in
Okay.
there.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah, Bills.
Okay, I'm going the Commanders.
If they win, dude, oh my gosh.
That'd be awesome. Colts at Ravens.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
Ravens.
I won't say Colts, but with Anthony Richardson unknown, I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Patriots at Jets.
This won't be a fun
Patriots.
game. This won't be
I'm
a
gonna
fun
go
game.
Patriots.
Patriots. Yeah.
A couple. Well, we got about 6 more here. Panthers at Seattle.
Game.
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle Panthers.
Well, CJ's never played in the 12th man before. He'll get rambled up.
Bryce.
He'll get rattled.
You mean Bryce?
What did I say?
To
CJ.
CJ.
Sorry, Bryce.
And then you get Bears at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Cowboys at Cardinals.
Let's go with the Cardinals.
Cowboys.
Go Dallas.
And just so you guys are aware, that's our afternoon slate. Panthers at Seattle, Bears at Chiefs, and Cowboys and Cardinals are our late game options.
That's awful.
Just so you guys are aware. And then Sunday night game is Steelers at Raiders.
Raiders.
I gave the same
Wow.
look when I saw it.
I'm gonna go with Raiders.
Raiders as well. And we have 2 Monday Night Football games
Again?
this week.
Wow.
They're both they both could be good the way how the teams are playing, or kind of sort of. Eagles at Buccaneers.
This will be a good game. This will be a good game.
True.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles if Swift gets over 100 yards.
I really want to go with Tampa Bay because they've been
Do
playing
it.
good.
Do it, man.
I can't, man. I have to.
That
stay
means they're
atop
leading the
leaderboard.
division. That means they might lead the division.
Okay,
It's crazy.
I can't let them do that.
All right,
my picks are sweat.
is Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eagles.
All right, I'm gonna go Buccaneers. And then you have hey, if I go 2-0, baby, this week with getting the Buccaneers and Commanders, I'll be happy. And then the final game of the week is Rams at Bengals.
That's gonna be a good
Yep.
game. I think that'll be a good game.
The Bengals got to win one, man. They got to beat somebody.
Burrow he's dinged up. I know his calf's giving him issues again.
I'm gonna go with the Rams just because of the Stafford and Nakua thing right now. They're hot. Like that kid looks good.
I'm gonna go Rams myself.
I'm gonna go with Bengals. I think they're gonna bounce out of it. I mean,
If Joe Burrow plays,
yes, if Joe Burrow plays, I'm going with the Bengals. And I mean, Chase has got to come out of his funk eventually, anyways.
Mhm.
And T. Higgins already came out of his, so now it's Chase's turn.
I agree. Well, guys, let us know how we did for you. We appreciate you guys' time today. Just comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll continue this every week. We're super excited for this. We appreciate y'all. We'll look forward to the Falcons one next week. I think that'll be a good one for us. So you guys have a good night. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.